Hello, everyone, and welcome to ReelQuick episode 56. Today we have our patron-sponsored review of the week, and this week it is recommended by Ben Hansey, and it is Knight of Cups. This is a movie from director Terrence Malick, who I think is the first director to show up twice on, because Scorsese had Age of Innocence and Raging Bull, but we had already done Badlands, so Terrence Malick now enters the crew of doing two movies that we reviewed on ReelQuicks. But the quick synopsis of this is from 2015. Terrence Malick starring Christian Bale, Cate Blanchett, Natalie Portman, Antonio Banderas, and some other smaller roles that you would recognize from other things. But Rick is a screenwriter living in Los Angeles. While successful in his career, his life feels empty. Haunted and confused, he finds temporary solace in the decadent Hollywood excess that defines his existence. Women provide a distraction to his daily pain, and every encounter brings him closer to finding his place in this world. Very, very artistically experimental movie. Let's just jump right into it and give our, there's no spoilers, so we're not breaking this up into spoiler-free thoughts or anything.
Yeah.
But we're just going to go through and give our thoughts, roundabout thoughts, and have some fun facts and some information. But we'll start it off with George.
Yeah, it's... I hate when we don't like these Patreon reviews because I feel bad to the gentleman that
Please comment if this is like one of your favorite movies ever, like when you do a Patreon suggestion, so that we know to be nice or not.
Yeah,
I don't think this is. I gotta.
It was a whole lot of nothing for me, and I'll stand by it in saying I'm just not smart enough for this movie. Maybe there were deeper themes of loneliness and not knowing your place in the world, but they didn't stand out to me. It felt very shallow. It was also just boring. Like, I say this all the time. I know I have objectively slow movies rated highly, but even those movies can grasp my attention in one way or another. But this one just didn't do it for me. I genuinely just found myself bored. This is also such a weird role for Christian Bale, because we've said on this podcast many times, Christian Bale, he doesn't pick the movie, he picks the role, and this role just didn't seem like anything to him. It seemed just like a really slow walk in the park, nothing he had to prepare for. It was just a very odd setting and experimental type film, like you said, Tyler, to find Christian Bale in. But yeah, it just dragged like crazy. It just felt so on the nose, pretentious. I can respect the artistical, technical eye that Terrence Malick brought to this film. It did, there are very few films out there that have this type of, artistic experimental vibes to it. While we were watching, I made Victoria watch it too, unfortunately. She said this movie feels like an NYU student's final project or something. And that's kind of what it felt like. So I gave it a 1 out of 5. I thought it was just a pitiful drag of a movie. I really didn't enjoy my time with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, damn, that's low.
Cam.
Just to bounce off the Christian Bale point, I think this is his worst performance. Maybe not worst, but
it's not even a bad performance.
It's not. It just doesn't do anything. It kind of felt.
Yeah, he was in what was that kind of shitty movie? Gods and what?
Exodus, Kings.
Exodus, Gods and Kings. Even that movie, the movie sucks.
Every time I see the movie poster for that, by the way, I always think it's his movie poster for Thor: Love and Thunder, because it just looks so similar.
But even that role,
I don't think he's the problem with that movie.
No, he's not the problem with that movie. That role stretched his acting ability. It was something he's never done before. But this literally felt like they handed him a script, and then on the exact same day they started filming.
Well, yeah, that perfectly segues quickly. I'm just going to cut off Cam because there's a fun fact that just naturally fits in here. There was a script between 400 and 600 pages long. Christian Bale was never given the script. He had no lines to learn. 100% improvised. Christian Bale says that during the entire filming of the movie, none of the actors or actresses knew what the movie was about. It seemed like Terrence Malick just had this vision to throw a bunch of stuff together and figured it out in post. But yeah, Christian Bale was never given the script of this movie. That is
maybe
500
that was
pages
like
long.
the idea of the movie. Like we said, he chooses the role, not the movie. Like maybe that was the idea of the movie. It's like, hey, you're just going to come on set. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to play off these people. We'll give you the general idea. And maybe that's why he wanted to do it.
Is that why he looked so
just-
fucking confused the entire movie?
Probably.
Literally, yes.
Because like, I bet it's one of those things where like, and this movie has way too much style and not enough substance, in my opinion. And I bet that's one of those things where Terrence, what's his name? Sorry. Terrence Malick. He wanted to do something really stylish and really artistic. And I just don't think it came together all that well. Cause I think when you put together a great story with style and artistry, we'll call it, like, I think that works really well. But this one is just a bog to get through, man. And like I said, I came home yesterday. I was so goddamn tired. I'm impressed with myself for watching this movie and making it through. There were definitely fadings. I was definitely fading in and out a little bit of sleep and not. So that probably couldn't have enhanced the viewing experience, but it's just one of those things where I never felt hooked at any point. I'm higher than you. I have it out like 42 out of 100.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a little too harsh on the movie. Like, I think a 1 out of 5 is a bit harsh, but like, I really just didn't enjoy my time with it. But also, like, I'm not like well versed in Terrence Malick filmography outside of Badlands and Thin Red Line. I haven't explored any of his other stuff. So, and I know like Badlands and Thin Red Line kind of stand out as like his like non-typical style of filmmaking.
He did the Tree of Life.
Yeah, he did Tree of Life, which I even have on Criterion, but I've never seen. I bought it on Criterion in thinking I would get me to watch it. But like this movie just like nothing. I kept waiting for like some plot points to like come up, something to like really hook me, because I was intrigued at first. It was very like weird, and you kind of understood the idea of this movie of just watching this like lonesome man just kind of roam around doing his job, partying, whatever. And I was like, okay, this is cool, like whatever, like let's like something's gonna happen, something's got to happen. And just nothing really ended up happening. There was no like sense of urgency, there was no like overarching plot. It just felt like a movie of themes, and the themes just didn't hit as hard as they should have for me to care about this movie.
Yeah. There's just so much. The production of this movie is so interesting because so just like all this stuff I've read up about it after the movie, that Christian Bale was crap. I just lost the movie. What movie came out from him in 2013? Just lost it. So filling it in. Try and guess a random movie. Christian Bale.
2013 Christian Bale. Out of the Furnace.
Yes, good job.
American Hustle.
I just found it. So he started shooting this movie 2 days after finishing shooting Out of the Furnace. He didn't get a script. Terrence Malick used a technique called torpedoing, where during this entire movie he just kept throwing random actors in the middle of shooting a scene just to see how the other actors would react. No one knew what was going on. This whole movie was filmed on the streets of like LA and Las Vegas, and apparently it was like a very public filming, and there's tons of paparazzi photos because it doesn't sound like they like closed sets really or anything. They just kind of showed up and just filmed stuff on the streets. Yeah. And Christian Bale said the shooting was just like very quick, and then they spent 2 whole years on post-production, and they said they spent like weeks and weeks and weeks on like the voiceover acting, but the filming itself was super quick. So it's like it's just a weird movie that was just thrown together in the weirdest way. I'm the highest on it of the 3, but that being said, I'm at a 5 out of 10 for 2.5 stars. So I get what they're going for here. Like, it's a super hyper experimental dream state like atmosphere. It reminded me a lot of Bardo, as well as kind of like Birdman, which are both Alejandro Inarritu movies. But I think there's a lot of similarities there, where in this movie we're kind of drifting between dream states, visions, reality, and we kind of don't know what's real and what's not. Cinematography was super dreamlike and lush, and just kind of moved like almost like it felt like it was like on water. Like you were just kind of like slowly fading in and out of everything. It was such a weird dream state of a movie to watch. And it's just kind of like Christian Bale. You kind of see he's always like looking for the next woman in his life. He's always looking for the next thing to kind of fill his time with. When you see that he's super successful, he's getting like super nice apartments, and he's clearly a successful screenwriter, making it big, but clearly he's not happy in life, feeling pretty empty, and he's always on the next girl, on to the next thing, on to the next drug, on to the next drink. But yeah, very odd editing and cinematography that I kind of liked for all of its creativity. I feel like the way it was like lushly painted contrasts the kind of darker tones of the movie itself, but all that being said, it's just not really a film I'm going to enjoy that much. It's like 2 hours long. I felt like it was too long for what it was. Super experimental. I'm like happy I watched it to see what it was all about, but can't say I loved it. But that being said, 2.5 out of 5, 5 out of 10, right down the middle. Yeah, anything else either if you want to add about the movie?
I mentioned this is just the exact opposite of Fast X. Fast X is a shit script because these are the two movies I watched back to back. And so I gave them the exact same score just for fun. Fast X is like fast paced, shitty writing, shitty acting, shitty everything else, but it's fast paced and you're entertained. This is like, I thought the script was good, you know, and then like, or I guess there wasn't a script. There was just like the dialogue was good, I should say. Like the acting was fine, but nothing crazy. The editing was really cool, and I liked the cinematography of it a lot, but it was just boring as shit. So these two movies are the polar opposites of each other that I've given the exact same score. I come out of them with the exact same experience, in my opinion. Also, this is a kind of a fun fact. During filming, Christian Bale thought Teresa Palmer was a stripper, and it was not only until a week after working with her and he saw a billboard for Warm Bodies with her face on it and realized she was an actress on the movie.
That's so
and that just adds to everything about how weird this production was. Like Christian Bale, like it just seemed like he got literally off the plane from out of the furnace back in LA, and he's like, let's just hop on this movie set. He's like, who are these people? Oh, he must have hired like real life strippers for this movie. Like,
yeah,
weird, like just wild movie.
I'll also say if you're watching this on YouTube and I'm like looking around right now, I'm not like tripping acid. I was watching my dog who could have pissed anywhere if I'm being honest. So I was just trying to keep an eye on him. So
I thought you were tripping acid for a second.
Yeah, I mean, like I felt like I was looking around a lot just randomly.
But yeah,
but I have nothing to say about this.
We'll wrap it up there. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode, obviously we're missing Seth from this episode. It's been a wild scramble of a day where we filmed a ton of stuff, so it's like easy to quickly forget and be like, oh, Seth's dipping out, and then he's going to join us back for something else later. But this isn't just because his power went out, which happened at the end of the Q&A episode, which you'll be seeing tomorrow. But it's because he wasn't able to get to this movie. Very interested, so plugging his Letterboxd, follow him on Letterboxd, because when he gets around to this, I think he might have a chance to be the highest of us, just because I feel like this is kind of more of a film he would appreciate. But I did appreciate it to an extent, 5 out of 10. But we'll wrap it up there. Ben Hansey, please let us know if there's like your favorite movie of all time, because I feel really bad that we did it. Right. We didn't rate it highly, but I think we did it justice in our review and covered what it was about, how the production went, and how there was some unique elements we did appreciate about it. But that'll do it for ReelQuick episode 56. We will see you later.